Since the 1930s, Shriners Hospitals for Children has been accepting donations of real estate assets, including land and agricultural and mineral property. Professional management agencies, along with the staff at Shriners International Headquarters under the direction of the Investment Committee, oversee these assets. Shriners Hospitals for Children benefits from the income generated by these properties. Currently, Shriners Hospitals for Children owns 86 farms throughout the United States. Each individual property has its own story and would like to share a very special one about a 160-acre farm in Shelby County, Illinois. This farm has a rich and unique history that is deeply rooted in both the fraternity and its philanthropy.
The Lantz farm is located approximately 4 miles north of Shelbyville in Shelby County and Ridge Township. You know, when you're farming, you kind of roll with the flow, whatever happens, and I don't really know anything different. One day, Johnny called me. I always called him Johnny. He always wore a denim jacket. He wore it year-round.
Mr. Neighbor remembers his neighbor John Lantz and the time when Mr. Lantz eagerly wanted to show him a Shriners Hospitals article. Mr. Lantz, who'd been disabled since he was 5 years old, was deeply impressed by what he learned about the organization's commitment to improving the lives of children, and said that his entire life would have been different if that type of healthcare system had been around when he was young.
And I was very aware of the Shriners. I was not a Shriner at the time. And anyway, I said, yeah. He said, what do you think if I give this farm to the Shrine Hospital? Oh, I said, well, I think it'd be great.
Mr. Lantz told Fred Neighbor that he wanted to leave his farm to Shriners Hospitals for Children so that future generations of children could be helped in a way he never was.
Before noon that day, he had deeded that farm to the Shrine Hospital. That was it. It was all he had.
Shriners Hospitals for Children opened its first hospital in 1922, and at the time it treated the after effects of polio and other orthopedic conditions. Later, 3 more subspecialties would be added. Shriners Hospitals took ownership of the farm in 1973 after Mr. Lantz passed away at the age of 95. When this type of donation has been made, the healthcare system either receives a percentage of the crop harvested or a cash lease from the land's tenant.
So we act basically in the owner's place as the property manager on the farm. So we are the main interface between the actual owner and the farm tenants. So U.S. Trust manages 11 Shriners Hospitals properties centered around Springfield, Illinois. They total about 3,500 gross acres, about 3,000 of which are tillable. So those are in 11 different tracts, and those 11 different tracts generate about $1.1 million of rental income every year. We do physically inspect the property. I usually make it to these farms about 6 times a year, always during the growing season between planting in the early spring and harvest in generally September and October.
Michael Williams, grandson of Fred Neighbor, is the operating tenant of the Lantz farm, which produces soybeans and corn.
Well, I'm 35 years old. I've been on the farm here since I was a little kid. You know, as a little kid, you know, kind of helping in the farm. Always riding with Dad and always, you know, with Grandpa, just around the farm. I love what I do. It's so fun. It's the technology, for one, is a very unique aspect of the farming situation right now. Well, yesterday we went out to the Shriners farm and we harvested some corn, and we started in through the field and we harvested corn, and you know, once we got the grain tank full on the combines, then we have an auger wagon, you know, that caught us as we were harvesting corn at the same time. Then the semis, of course, were up there waiting to be loaded. So the auger wagon would dump the crop onto the semis, and then the semis would, you know, go and load in the bins, or some of them went to the local elevators. Then after that, then the lunchtime come, and always around lunchtime, Mom and Grandma fix us all a lunch, and they bring it out, you know, in the back of the pickup. You know, that's where we have lunch, you know, when it comes to springtime or fall time. You know, whether it be lunch meat sandwiches one day, or you might have lasagna, beef and noodles, it could be anything, but at least you have something.
Because of the farm's history and having had many good friends who were Shriners, Mr. Neighbor became a member of Ansar Shriners in Springfield, Illinois. His son-in-law later followed suit and also became a Shriner, as did his grandson, Michael.
First of all, when my father passed away, I was not a Shriner. I never had become a Mason or a Shriner. And shortly after he passed, I made that commitment to myself that I was going to become a Shriner. He inspired me to become a Shriner, and my grandfather also. You know, because we farm for these Shriners and these children.
We do it for the kids, period. That is what we're for. Our meetings, it all stems around the kids. And I don't think a lot of folks really understand us good enough.
This farm really is unique. These guys are not only top-notch tenants on the farming side, but they are personally invested in the Shriners organization. And they really go out of their way to do a good job, make sure the farm itself is farmed very well but stays clean. They keep it well maintained and presentable.
Mr. Lantz, he probably done the most goodness thing out of his heart to do something like that, you know, to give a farm to the Shriners Hospital. You know, that man, you know, he had a good heart. I just think that, you know, it's just an honor and a privilege to be doing something like this as a farmer for the Shriners Hospital and the children themselves. Just to where I know, you know, that, you know, there's children out there that need help, and, you know, we are helping these children each and every day.
I think it's a great feeling, you know, to be a part of that. But it's good. It's just good for the kids.
That farm's been a very good farm to us, and I'm just proud to have this opportunity to work with the Shriners throughout the farming industry.